Wilcox here. Welcome to episode 22. I guess. I swear it should be episode 25. I need an assistant. I'm so sorry I'm late. I was accidentally streaming to Facebook. Remember, I've been doing the travel series, 2 weeks of travel tweaks. Turn your travels into adventure with daily tips and tricks. So that was messing me up. I was streaming in the wrong place. Thank you guys so much for checking it out. And big shout out to these guys, Exploring the Local Life, because they were the ones that told me I was in the wrong place and I was on Facebook. Wow. Awesome. Christina's here, Exploring the Local Life. Hey, Heidi. She's joining from hot and humid Minnesota. I am here in hot and humid Tampa still. It is very hot. Anyway, remember I'm doing that 2 weeks of travel tweaks, and that is for the Smart Travel Super Bundle. That's available to you right now until Friday the 19th. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in just a minute after our interview. But yes, today we are talking with Mike of UpClose-RV. He's got a really great story about starting an RV business that I think you guys are going to be really interested in. It's a super cool idea. I love it. I had to have him on the show when I first found out about it. So since I was late because I was on Facebook, let's just get right into it. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good, Liz. How are you? Thanks for having me on. That's great.
Yeah, of course. So I was telling Mike before the show, we're only semi-professional here on the virtual campground. Something's bound to go wrong. And then within 2 seconds, I realized something's wrong. Nobody's watching. Oh, yeah, I'm on Facebook. So thanks for hanging in there with me, Mike.
Hey, no problem.
Awesome. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into RVing?
Okay, I got into RVing because I was pushed into it by my wife. So my last, yeah. So my last assignment was in the Pentagon for the last 2 years, and we found a great home up in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, that my wife loved, and so we had to figure out how I was going to work in DC and travel back and forth to Carlisle, and so we looked at the RV. We bought a 26-foot Keystone Passport Ultralight. I moved it down to Stafford, Virginia, and started living in that during the week and commuting back home on the weekends, and so became a full-timer out of necessity and economics. And then it still was an hour and a half commute to work from the campground that I was staying at. When I travel the road and I see people with their RVs parked on their yard or in their driveway, and I'm looking at them, I'm going, why can't I park there? And so the idea of UpClose-RV was generated through that.
All right, so I think you cut out a little bit, but basically you were driving an hour and a half each day. You saw a driveway, said, why can't I park there?
That's exactly it. And so I wanted to try and get closer. Obviously, I didn't in the 2 years that I was doing full-time down in Stafford, but the idea kept bugging me. And so as it was bugging me, I developed a business plan and the idea to say, why can't property owners capitalize on their extra space and RV owners get closer to where they want to be? And the example I use is I have to stay at one of the campgrounds that are generally about 30 miles away from the city center. Well, that means I park 30 miles away, I commute 2 hours to go see the cherry blossoms in DC, and commute 2 hours back. That's frustrating, especially if I'm trying to see the sights and do kind of a whirlwind tour or just travel the country in my RV. So if someone has a property closer to a metro station, sure, it is like in DC, they can potentially rent that driveway space out to an RVer. I can get on the metro. The metro takes me right downtown, and I'm there in 15 or 20 minutes instead of 2 hours. So that's the concept.
Right. So basically, you can go online, you can find driveways, hook up with these hook up with these property owners, park in the driveway, and explore the place you want to explore without the commute.
Absolutely. So the idea is to get closer to your destination, avoid the crowded campgrounds, avoid the rising high costs. Part of the reason you bought your RV is because you want to travel the United States and see the sights without paying an arm and a leg, flying and getting a hotel and then trying to see your site from the hotel. You bought it to keep your travel time and your or not your travel time, keep your vacation time cheaper, right?
Right,
So
totally.
right, yeah, and that's why you bought the RV. And so we're looking at driving some of those costs down, and hooking you up. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. You did cut out a little bit at the end.
Okay.
So can you just repeat those last maybe like 20 seconds?
Last 20 seconds. Well, the idea is to connect property owners who are close to destinations with RV owners who are trying to get close to those destinations and to drive the cost down a little bit and avoid crowded campgrounds.
Right. So I love that. Heidi says this is a great idea, especially for smaller RVs. Do you think it would be harder with a Class A? Or do you have more property owners that have a little more land than, say, you're trying to be in DC near the metro station?
Right. So we're a brand new company, right? About 4 months old. So we have we work with all kinds of properties, and so I have the ability to put at least a 30-foot Class A in my driveway, and I have 30 amp hookup, and I have the ability to do water. So it depends on the property owner. I have a property owner in Gettysburg that can fit a 40-foot Class A
Nice.
on their property with full hookups. So every property owner is going to be different.
Right.
Some will only be able to host small, maybe teardrops or something. Others will be able to host larger RVs, Class A's, because they have more land.
Right, that makes sense. And I love that you're just starting out, this is an idea, you're going for it. Just a personal story. Mike works with a lady named Audrey, part of the company, and she reached out to me, I don't know, found me on Google, whatever, and was explaining a little bit about UpClose-RV, and I just thought it was such a fun idea, and it was so smart. People love to mooch dock is what we call it in the RV world, and so I thought, what a great company, let's share this. So can you tell me how it works? Is this a membership site? Do you pay each time you use it? How does that work? Or how do you envision it?
Sure. So there's no membership. The website's already up, where you pay the property owner through the website, kind of like PayPal. We take a small percentage off the top, and we only get paid when the property is booked. So you can go on, browse the properties. There's no wickets you have to go through in order to see what properties are out there. So there's no obligation. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm hearing a little echoing. I think it's let me move my mic away. I might just be talking too loud. um, which I would not be surprised. All right, so basically, you just pay the property owner through your website, and UpClose-RV takes, a certain percentage of that.
Right. That's correct.
That's awesome. I love that you only pay when you use it, because I know personally I'm going to unplug these. I think that should be better. So I've used so many memberships. When I first started RVing, I bought every single membership that was out there. And, I used maybe one time. So I love that instead of having to buy your membership, I can just go on there. If I find something that works, great, book it then. And not have to worry about this membership fee that pops up every year. And I'm like, wait, I don't even use that.
Yeah. So, and I think that's part of the draw for our business is that I'm not trying to trap you or grab your money right up front. I want you to find a place that you're going to be happy with, that is going to be affordable for you, that's going to get closer to where you want to be, and that's the whole point of the business.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Everyone's saying, yeah, Heidi says, that's awesome. This is amazing. We'll definitely check it out. I'm wondering, where do you see the company in a year from now? What are your guys' goals?
So I will tell you the truth, that our biggest struggle right now is property owners who don't understand the RVing community, right? So what would make a property owner who's never been an RVer understand this? And so a lot of my communication with those property owners is face to face, because there's a light that clicks on. The RV owners get it, but it takes a little bit for a property owner to get it. And so we're just looking to grow the business, get property owners on board. We're bootstrapping the company. I've got a couple of young investors, probably about your age, that are throwing some money our way to try and get this thing off the ground and running, because they see the potential, and we do too. So our goal is just to get properties out there so RVers can find them.
Right, I love that. And yeah, I definitely see potential. RVing is so big, and sometimes, yeah, we do want to go to DC. We want to go to maybe, New Orleans for Mardi Gras.
Sure.
All these popular destinations where there's also limited land for campgrounds. So I love this idea. I love what you said at the beginning of the interview about you're driving 2 hours to work and you just see all these driveways. You're like, well, why can't I just park here?
That's right. Yeah. and they have their own RVs parked in their own driveways, right?
Right.
So what's the difference between me parking in the driveway next door that's vacant,
right,
and staying there for the night or staying there for a couple nights?
Yeah, and I love that. And I think this is the perfect time for something like this because, places like Airbnb.com, VRBO, like they've really, set the path where it's a little more normal than even it was 10 years ago. Like, I remember the first time I did Airbnb, it was, I don't know, only 3 years ago. And my sister, oh my gosh, you're going to stay in some stranger's house. And I'm like, oh yeah, da-da-da-da-da. And now, nobody skips a beat, right? Like, yeah, of course. And so things like this, I think, have brought the world a little closer together. And like you said, the RV community is already kind of like that. I call that like the power of the campfire. Like, we just kind of get it. We love meeting new people, sharing, caring. Excuse me. But yeah, getting RV owners on board. Getting property owners on board is a little more difficult. So how can we help you? Anybody watching right now, the virtual campground, how can we help you spread the word about that?
So that's great.
He froze. Let's give him a second.
Yeah,
all right,
all
you froze.
So the idea is
So
to spread the word.
yes, how can we spread the word
right now? And hit our Facebook link and our Facebook at Celebrate RV Life is what our Facebook link is, and give us a like. You have social networks. Help us get the word out. If you know folks, there's a lot of RVers that own property that have hookups on their property already, that when they're out of town, that piece of driveway space or backyard can be earning them some money and helping defray some of the vacation costs, right? So if you know property owners, let them know what we're doing. Just help us get the word out. It took Airbnb 2 years to get off the ground, right? We know that this could be a long run up. I got it, but there's so much potential to help the RVing community.
Yeah, and the property owners to make a little extra money because they, I don't know, I read a statistic somewhere about, everybody wants to Airbnb nowadays, right? I know it used to be before Airbnb, it was like couchsurfing.com, and it was a little free. And I guess I was what would you call it, like an early adopter. I used to actually, when I was in college, hey, there's your dog you mentioned that might bark.
My dementia-laden dog. So.
Hey, buddy. We hear ya. So I used to live in a leased hotel room, and I would travel a lot in college. So whenever I wasn't there, I would let people from Couchsurfer, stay there. And sometimes, they'd leave me $10-20. Hey, thanks for letting me stay. I lived right on the beach, right on the Gulf of Mexico. And it was a great way for me to, even though they didn't have to pay, I made money that way. And sure. So I think, if we as RVers just tell people that we're already, I'm staying at my cousin's house, I'm staying at my dad's driveway, things like that, like say, hey, you didn't mind me staying, I have some friends, they use UpClose-RV. If you post your property there, they can book it and you can actually make some money, especially for people that already have hookups, because a lot of people with property do, honestly.
Right.
So I think that's a great way to.
So there's at last census there was 4.5 million properties out there that are over a quarter acre. These are single family homes. There's 4.5 million opportunities, right? So across the nation, we just need to get the message out.
All right, I think he froze. Oh, there he goes. So sorry. This is freezing. Who knows what's going on? Johnny has a great question. He says, do you have any issues with local ordinances prohibiting parking of RVs in residential areas?
So yes, we do have. There are municipalities that have rules about how long you can park an RV, that kind of thing. The other issues, of course, are homeowners association. You're not going to be able to. A lot of homeowners associations won't even let you park your own RV in. So those are wickets that we have to jump through. A lot of that is the property owner looking at their local ordinances and see if they can do this. And we know that there are going to be places that we can't do this. Surely you're not going to be able to do it downtown New York City. Right. So
right.
You let.
Hang on, guys. I don't know what's going on. All right, there we go.
But yeah, so let alone trying to get an RV downtown New York City, but we know those are issues. But there's enough out there that will make it viable for the RV community that can do this.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I know my father-in-law, he's in Connecticut, 2 hours outside of New York City, 2 hours outside of Boston, right there in the middle. He's got a great piece of property and a little bit of hookups. We stayed there for, I think, like a month. It would be great for people. And I know he's close to retirement age, so I know he'd love to make a little extra money and get there faster.
Yeah.
Christina says, love this idea. We have to educate property managers on how big this could be for them as well as RVers. When I buy a house in Austin, I will definitely contact you, Mike, to allow RVers to park on our property anytime. Thanks, Christina. What a doll she is.
Yes.
Yeah, if you guys have any more questions or concerns, let us know. I had one more. We've been talking so much. I think we went through our... Well, let me ask you this. If we don't have any more questions, what are you most excited about in growing this?
So I'm by nature someone who likes to create. And so just creating the business is kind of, in my mind, a piece of art. I want to create and grow it, right? It's not about getting rich. I'm a retired colonel, and so I make a pretty good living if I wanted to just to couch surf, right? It's about supporting my friends and my family where I can, and about supporting the RV community, and about just creating something new. So.
Well, Mike, I think that was the perfect answer. For me, anyway, I'm also a creator by nature. I love creating new things, getting people excited, helping solve people's problems. People seem really excited in the comments. Exploring the Local Life says, I love the way you're presenting this, so genuine. Christina says, yes, UpClose-RV, I totally agree. Anything to support RVing community as a future full-timer. So I think people are sold. We're really excited to help you spread the word. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks. Yeah, I just, maybe if you want to know a little bit about the company, we're about 70% veteran owned. And so I've got 3 guys that retired from the Army that are on the West Coast starting out there for me. So we start in a property, so we're kind of trying to sandwich the country and build this thing. And hopefully we'll be able to.
I love that. Sandwich it. I never heard of it like that, but yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
In case you guys needed a visual, this is what that meant.
That's right. That's exactly what that meant. We're going to sandwich the company with RV properties, or people with properties that can host RVers. So.
Well, that's awesome. Tell us again what your website is and where we can find you on social media.
Absolutely. So our website is UpClose-RV, all one word, .com. Our Facebook page is @Celebrate RV Life, or you can just type in UpClose-RV, and it'll pop up in Facebook. So, and we're centered out of Carlisle, Pennsylvania. So if you stop by, I've got room for you in my driveway, and we can park you, and we can have a Coke and watch the sunset on the creek.
Oh my gosh, you guys, this guy is so good. I love it. Have a Coke and a smile.
That's right.
I love it, Mike.
Coke and a smile is great.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for your service, and everyone that's working on it. We cannot wait to see this grow, and we can't wait to help you.
Well, thanks, Liz. I really appreciate coming on. I really like to engage with the RVing community. I'm watching every day. I watch people going full time, and it's really exciting. That I think there's almost 9 million RVers out there.
Wow.
And a million full timers. So
yeah, it's pretty wild. Especially as someone who does go full time, you think you have this wonderful creative idea, and then you Google it, and you're like, wait, there's literally another million people that came up with this before me. And your ego's kind of bruised for a second, and then you think it's really cool. And then you think it's really cool, and you're like, okay, great, there's a community. Oh, hang on, we did get one more question real quick before we let you go. Johnny says, could you lease spots in trailer parks for exclusive use of your customers? What do you think about that?
Could you lease spots in trailer parks? So... Johnny, if you're asking if I would go out and lease spots at a trailer park, I would not. But if there was a trailer park that wanted to put that piece of property on my website for long-term rental through our platform. We can do that. We have my personal property. We have up for $500 a month here in Carlisle. And if you look at the RV sites around us, that's a
Oh, he froze again. 1 second, guy. Oh, there you are. So you're saying that's comparable to where you are right now?
That's right. Yeah.
Awesome. It's like we're on the same wavelength. I can finish your sentence.
Well, good.
All right, Mike. Well, before you cut out again, I think I'm going to let you go. End on a high note there. Everybody's loving it. Christina says, thanks, Mike. Heidi says, Christina. Thank you, veteran owned. Johnny says, can I fish in your creek when I get there?
Absolutely. I think we have some smallmouth bass, there's not trout this high up, but we're right by the yellow breeches if he likes to trout fish.
That sounds awesome. Thanks so much, Mike.
All right. Thank you, Liz.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. That was so awesome, guys. Thank you for listening and dealing with the spotty service. I'm not sure if that was him or me or what was going on. But yeah, I just met Mike and I met Audrey through email, things like that. And I just thought they were really genuine. They had a really good idea. I had to have him on the show. And yes, Heidi, I love that he's veteran owned. And that's where the idea came from. He was stationed, had to go to the Pentagon, couldn't find a place to RV. And I just thought that was a really cool story and I wanted to share it with you guys. Yeah, Johnny says, sounds like a neat idea. UpClose-RV says, yes, come and fish. All right. So, that was a little short of an interview. Sorry to cut it short. I've been really, really sick the last couple days. So my energy is kind of low. I'm trying to keep it together for you guys. I've got caffeine here and I took some Sudafed. But there is one thing before I let you guys go. I know I've been hammering this on my 2 weeks of travel tweaks and on the blog. You can catch all those replays on my website, thevirtualcampground.com. You can catch every single video. I think we're on day 9, and they're each 10 minutes long. They give you some great tips. You can also check them out right here on YouTube. Excuse me. But I just want to share with you guys the Smart Travel Super Bundle. Heidi said earlier she got hers last night, but I know I've been emailing you guys about it. If you haven't gotten it yet, I just wanted to share what it actually is, because I know it's kind of hard if you've never heard of a bundle before to kind of envision it. So I'm just going to share my screen with you guys and actually show you what the heck this ultimate bundle, travel bundle is. So when you purchase, you'll be set up with a login, and it'll go right to your dashboard, and that shows you everything in your bundle. So it goes by different categories, and yes, of course, not everything in the bundle you're going to use. Some of it's international travel that might not pertain to you, but there's a ton of stuff that's just camping, RV, road trip related, and so you can click on that and you can immediately go and see what the heck is in the bundle. And so if you're looking to buy your first RV, or even if you're thinking of downsizing, etc., you're going to be able to go right here to this book, and you can click on the PDF, and it's going to take you right to the book, and you can scroll through and read it. I won't scroll through because that might make you nauseous. I know I get really bad motion sickness, but you can also download it. And we also have, if you travel with your family, there's this awesome course I showcased on day 3 of the travel tweaks if you want to watch that video and look at it more closely. But this is a course you're going to have access to. What I love about this course is it really goes into depth on like your personality and how to get along with your family, and how to make things go right when they're going wrong, things like that. Backpacking, if you're into that, this is an awesome course. I've been taking it the last I guess about 2 weeks ago I took it and I learned a ton. This is another family one. Whether you have kids or grandkids, this is going to help you take those kids and really have fun on your trip and also learn. And this is the real reason why you should get it. Oh my gosh, fix it yourself. Our course is in this bundle. You're going to get free access to it just like any other student, and that's the real reason why you should get it. And you'll also get this awesome Ultimate Rvs Bundle by Grania. You remember Grania and Frank came on in episode like 15 or something a couple months ago, and they just have great resources. I can click on that one and show you. It's got a full calendar of stuff. I'll scroll down, and it's just got any kind of checklist, planning thing you could ever dream of, places to visit. I love this one. All the national parks listed in one place. You can easily plan out a national park trip with this. It's amazing. And then also another one, I'll just show you one last one, you guys. Finance Your Detour, a budgeting program. This is by Dan and Lindsay McKenzie. You remember I had them on back in May. They're Follow Your Detour. They're who I run Full-Time Freedom Week with, etc., etc. They are just so amazing, and their course is so good. I was one of the first students to take it almost 2 years ago, and it just really helps you learn about how to budget for travel, how to really break it down into, I think they have like 4 foundational steps or something like that. And Dan is a whiz with numbers and spreadsheets and stuff like that. You can be completely ignorant. You take this course, you're going to be a whiz too. If you guys have ever seen Full-Time Freedom Week, you know it's a big thing. And who handles our finances? Lindsay and Dan do. They created this course. It's amazing. You guys should definitely check it out. And remember, you can get that bundle. It's available only till Friday. I'm not sure they're going to do it again. I mean, that sounds like a sales tactic, but honestly, this is the first time they've ever done it, and they told us, we're not sure if we're going to do it. We're just going to run it and see how it goes. But it seems to be going really well so far. Heidi says she bought it last night and downloaded all the ebooks and courses. Holy moly! It's only $47. What a great deal. Heidi, I need to hire you as my salesman. But it really is a good deal, especially if you want to get my course. Normally that's $200. You can get it for $50. And the link is in the description below. But anyway, it's only $47. Get it while it's hot, baby. It goes away Friday. Anyway, next week I am interviewing RV Miles. They have a podcast, a big website. They talk a lot about, they actually have 2 podcasts. They have the RV Miles podcast, and then they have a National Parks podcast. And that's what they're going to come on and talk about: national park planning, going, advocacy, conservation, all that good stuff. It's going to be super fun, and that's going to be next week. I see UpClose-RV is still in the comments. Thank you everyone who came tonight. Yes, thank you so much for coming on. And again, check out that bundle. I wouldn't be selling it if I didn't think it was a deal. I think it's a steal, honestly, and you should check it out. But anyway, I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for being here.